domination. And I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the idea of a democratic and free society in which all nations live together in harmony and with equal opportunity.
Just to start off with, what does the Madiba legacy mean to you as an individual?
Well, to me, it's an opportunity for redemption. I mean, my surname being Botha and the last apartheid president being Botha is something that I find quite significant. And something that is meaningful for me from that is the opportunity to redeem that name in a certain sense. That Madiba's legacy means that I can live in a country where I can work towards redeeming that name.
I think to be able to be here in New York and compete on an equal footing and be able to walk into board meetings, into school halls, into lectures, into platforms like this and not feel like as an African, as a South African, as a woman, that I am at all lacking is something that I think is really indicative of the legacy that I come
It allows
from.
not only when you're speaking to people about South Africa for people to know about the most famous South African, and it immediately gives them like a sort of personal relationship towards the country, something that they're
I grew up in rural South Africa. The idea of traveling was a no-no. I remember saying to my grandfather, I would like to travel one day, and he said, you're black, you're not going to get a passport. So it's little things like that, just the possibilities are now endless. I have traveled. I am here, which is something I could have never imagined or dreamed of when I was 9 years old.
Especially with education, Nelson Mandela was very at the forefront of saying that education is the way forward. And I just think that it's his legacy has opened up education for many of us who wouldn't have had that before.
What kinds of crazy experiences did you have upon arriving here in New York that people kind of seem to be confused about when it comes to their understanding of South Africa?
That was this lovely story. I went to go and teach in a school in Brooklyn, and then we played this little game where we put a map with no continent names, it's just colours on it. And so then you ask the people, where do you think I'm from? Just call out a colour. So it's like green and red, and Africa's orange. And they'll go through all the colours except Africa. I was like, yeah, there's just one left. And then they just start from the colours again. They just go through from the other side of the box. It's like, okay, guys, I'm from Africa.
My favourite experience was joining the African Students Association at NYU and arriving in the room. And kind of looked at me like, are you lost? I'm here for. And I was the only African there. Well, and this taught me about identity. Everyone else was from Haiti or Jamaica.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we had a quiz, and I was the only person who knew what Lesotho was.
This is our opportunity as this group of people sitting in this point in time to actually sell our country further to the audience.
My selling point about South Africa is that we've got fantastic food.
The sun shines differently there, and I think it's something that you want to see. I mean, as a Cape Townian, you probably know the way when the sun sets over Camps Bay. It's just the most beautiful country you will ever experience, from the beaches to the sea to jungles of Knysna. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful country with beautiful people, and I think we are the gateway to Africa in many ways. And I think that as an African, as a South African, I would say to the world, you really are missing out if you haven't had the opportunity to travel there.